Hey, how we doing? I never quite know if I'm live or not because everything always works just a little bit different every time. Here we are again. Yesterday was a little rough, and I think we're back. We're back today. Doing good. I got one Coke for now, and then one Coke for a little bit after now. Okay. Before I go anywhere else, I would like to share some big news. Big news. Where do I do this? Yeah. We did. We figured out the bug. So this is real common in game development. You get something in, and then you try to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more complex, a little bit bigger, more complex, and you figure out the problems. And the more you do that, the more stable your stuff gets, and the more you can depend on it. So there's nothing unusual about that at all. Just a little bit unusual to find it live. So, no, that's not it. The little check mark. Our channel got verified today, so thank you very much. And very, very close to 7,000 subscribers. But I got the notification from YouTube that we were verified, and I have a phone call with them coming up in a couple days. So that's cool. It's cool. It's the weird side effect here. I didn't anticipate that. Coming into this. So again, that's all you guys. You guys have done this. I mean, ultimately, all of this is you making this possible. So I can't express my gratitude and appreciation for the people who've supported us through the years over and over again. It's really an amazing thing. I was thinking about this right before the stream. I was thinking about how weird it is to have people out there that support you like this. I think it's I think most people don't get this out of their life in general, and I think it's kind of an amazing thing. So I honestly, everybody on the team all feels like this, that what you guys have done is is really sort of amazing gift to us. So we can't possibly appreciate this more, and the least that we could do for you is bring you a kick-ass video game. So let's get to it here. So I'll do a quick little recap here. We're building things in MagicaVoxel, and we have this tool and this special palette that was set up by one of our super talented developers that will bring that we can bring this right into the game. We've ironed out the bugs, and if I start the game up, we are in the land of pyramids here, which is just set up for a test so that we could find them easily. But they're coming in the right way, and if the way you can tell this is by coming and getting our doorway. One of these have a doorway. By the way, one of these has a really cool pool by it. It has a weird side effect. I have to find the one. I was joking when I was sending out screenshots with this earlier today, and I was saying that where is it? Oh, I can't find it. I was saying that, it's weird how this stuff happens randomly, but I would definitely vacation here. And of course, now I can't find it. It was just around one of these corners. Oh, I'm not giving up until I find this, because it's like two pyramids with a pool in between them. It feels like a hotel in Las Vegas or something. Is it this way? Should have marked the location. I swear it was just around one of these corners. Oh, here's our doorway. This worked out good. We have, if you look at MagicaVoxel, let's just pop back into this. We have our limestone thing. There's hieroglyphics on the inside, beveled limestone on the outside, and stone underneath for the floor. I probably want to extend the stone to the base of this too. I'll probably do that if I do another iteration. So here we go. It's in here. And we sunk it into the ground. So there's the lime walkway. There's the beveled stone. Just turn our light on, go inside. We got the hieroglyphs down the hallway, and then we built a shaft to the top of the pyramid. I think this is too far. I think he would take fall damage coming down here, so I think we should redo this. And we got a sandstorm outside just in time. Oh, this bug was supposed to be fixed by this for this stream, so that's interesting. Let me actually drop that on one of our developers here. Whoa! Thank you for the donation. Thank you. This is a bug. Teleport me to... Wow, I'm surprised at that, actually. Chatting with the development team here, making sure that we... Whoa, oh my God! Thank you so much for the donations. I don't, again, like I said, don't come here for the donations. Everything helps. I hope you guys still show up for the Kickstarter, because that's where we really need this. But it's really, really appreciated, and it really helps right now because we're, you know, kind of doing this on like a zero budget. So this stuff actually really helps. Stoked for the game, the stars align, the console version. Yeah, I think that we could get a physical copy. I could, if the game does well on Steam, it is like, I mean, again, it's up to Microsoft and Sony about the consoles. But yeah, we would like to do that. But yes, I want to find this little pool formation so bad. It was so cool. I guess I'll probably stumble into it later during one of the tests. But again, thank you for the donations. Everything helps. Physical copies, man, I don't know. Does anything have physical copies anymore? Like, is that like a thing? I'm going to spend the whole stream trying to find my little hotel pool. Wow, I really just thought it was one around one of these corners. It's so interesting how you can get lost in these areas like so easily. Oh, it's right around the back of this one. Here we go. Yeah. That's so funny. Just like right around the start area. Yeah. I was joking. I feel like I'd like to vacation here in between these two pyramids. This is a really good example of how when you layer a bunch of unpredictable stuff on each other, that you start to get like emergent things. Like, so all of this stuff is separate. There's an oasis here, the trees, the grass, the way the sand interpenetrates it, the edges of this thing, and the palm trees, and this accidentally just sort of comes together into this way that makes it look like this was designed, and it's not. This isn't designed at all. I could just like set up a nice little chair here, and I wonder if I could cue the sun. I think we got the weather. Okay, So, super easy as it makes. Like, this is where I think that maybe the stone should go at the bottom of this entrance here, or at least put sand under it, so we don't get these overhangs. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I was thinking about this before I got it, and then we'll eventually clear out these tunnels. We have a method of doing that. Let me just catch up with the chat here real fast while I was kind of geeking out on my pool. Do I know when the Kickstarter will be up? No, I don't. The Kickstarter is... we're going to wait till we're probably like 70% done. Oh, look at this. I got some sunshine just randomly. Okay. We were going to wait till we were about, 70% of the game is done or so. And so that when you see the Kickstarter, we know exactly what the game looks like. Well, does old CastleMiner, wondering, does old CastleMiner Z support controller? I actually don't think so. Maybe. Is MagicaVoxel easy to use? I would say it's easy. It's a complicated tool, but it's very powerful, is what we're finding. Like, it's very, very easy. Once you understand it, it's very easy to make things that you want to make. And we'll probably do a little bit more of that here because I'm guessing there'll be bugs. We have a guide for this for building things. You and the community can build things and submit them to us. I think the best way to do that would be to go to the community. I'm going to send a link here to go to the community Discord server, and we have some instructions and requests there. I put the link in the chat. Okay. So my plan here was to have, this is the plan, is under the ground here. Oh, so we got some fog rolling in. You get to see like the weather coming into these to these areas, like the random weather. So let's go underground. I'm flying here. I gotta take off the. Yeah. Sand looks a little goofy when I break it right now. There's a dungeon right under here, and I set up a stairway that should take us like right down into the dungeon. So what I'm going to do is put the stairway in the middle of the. I'm going to put the stairway. We got the hieroglyphics and the bevels go together well. The stairway in the middle of the pyramids, and just see what it's like to come down. We got torches on the ground finally too. That was another thing. Turn off the light, give you a better idea what it would look like to walk around in here. So I'm going to put the stairway down into the dungeon and see what that looks like. If you haven't seen the dungeons, they're kind of amazing. They're infinite, just like the world. So I'm planning on doing a whole bunch of stuff with this and having different types of dungeons. But the dungeons are, they're completely procedurally generated and they're infinite, which is kind of cool. And once the caves interpenetrate them, you get these cool features like lava dumping down into like a cavern under the dungeons and stuff like that. So let's do this. Let's crack open Rider here. Find our world builder. And I think all we have to do here, I have to bring the stairway in. So let's go through the whole thing. Let's open up our stairway in here. And this is a 6x16 stairway. So this is limestone stairs coming down with this black voxel means it's going to explicitly erase this part of the voxel in the game. Somebody's asking if every map will be unique. Yeah, absolutely. Like that is the whole plan for that was always how CastleMiner worked. Like everything was always procedurally generated, and we use the same map over and over again for testing because it makes it easy for us to like say, hey, go over to this place or to that place. But they'll be procedural. A couple more questions here. Is there plans for a storyline for the game? There might be a little bit more of a story. We'll see as we get further. Is there one infinite dungeon for an infinite world? I haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm going to probably say no, but there could be. Like we have the ability to do that. Is Unreal Engine more frustrating than Unity? Unreal Engine is frustrating because we don't know it as well as Unity. But I could say that I really dislike Unity. I feel like we had a lot of problems with our other games with Unity. And the feeling I get is that Unreal Engine is made by people who make games for real because it's used to make Fortnite, where Unity feels like it's kind of made by people who aren't making a game. Somebody's asking if all the enemies are going to be undead. I'm going to say no to that because there's already in CastleMiner things that break that rule. Do I have a supporter role in Discord for people who donated? That's a really good question. I'm in the process of setting that up right now. And since I got the official Discord channel hooked up, not that there's anything wrong with it. The one I linked is a community channel. These guys are great. They've been doing this for years. It's an amazing channel. One of the things I needed for YouTube was an official Discord channel so that I could do memberships, and I'll probably get that together. Do you know Scott Studios? I don't know him well. I've definitely met him in real life on a couple occasions. He's legit indie. I always loved his work. It's very inspiring. But like in terms of like personally, I don't know him that well. I know the Projector Games guy and the Total Miner guy much better. Like we've actually had and Lighthouse Games. Like the four of us would communicate regularly, and there's like a camaraderie between us. Have I ever played virtual reality? Like virtual reality, anything? Like yeah, since like the 1990s. Like there's this old clip of Murder, She Wrote playing virtual reality. I feel like people realize how old virtual reality is. Okay, one Coke down, and we are here. We're going to put this thing in the game. The first thing we're going to need is a pivot set on this, somewhere in the middle, I think. So if I get the number here, well, let's get it in the game first. So I'm going to go through my export paths to do this, if I haven't already. Oh, I got it in here already. Great. So I don't even have to do that. So let me just set the pivot correctly. The pivot is going to be at, where is this number? 117.19. 117.19. So I just open up the stairway, put in 117.19. Yeah, that's probably right. Okay, and now what I do is I go into our world builder blueprint, and I add a new prefab, and I'll call this stairs. I should probably name these with a prefix to stairway. There we go. I'll compile, save this, and that was number 4. I should put an enum together for these so that I know what they are. In fact, I'm going to do that before I get any further. I haven't, you know, when I was young, I programmed C++ so much. I did so many games in C++, and now I don't know. The language has changed a little bit, and it's just been a long time, so this is kind of a struggle for me. It's one of the harder things that I'm finding with using Unreal Engine, which is funny because I did many very big games in C++. Okay, so the first one is I have to look at how we organize this. Small, mid, large, and I have to always look up how to spell pyramid because I have the worst spelling ever. Okay, P-Y-R, pyramid, small. Mid, large. Stairs, okay. And they have this convention, and they do. So let's put this into our depositor code here. So at least now I can do this. And let's, at the same place, put stairs. And we should, this actually should be enough. I actually think that this will work. So let's save, do a compile here and run. Let me check while we're doing a compile. Let me check up with the... Somebody's talking about CMZ VR. Man, I would love to do that. I think that would be great. Again, all of this stuff depends on your level of support. The more support we get, the more we can do. And that's kind of what everybody here wants to do. Somebody's asking, what's our final version of the remake? What I keep telling people is I feel like it's somewhere in between a remake and a sequel. Like, it will definitely remind you of the old games, but there obviously is new stuff because we're looking at it. Somebody's saying here that we could have an infinite dungeon that changes based on the surface's biome. Yeah, like that's kind of more or less what I have in mind. But that's a good idea. Will the game be available in Linux and Mac? Unreal should make that easy, so I would say probably yes. How many devs are on this? There's 4 of us right now. Okay, let's go. Go back out to the desert. Find the doors. This is the, look at this. When I don't want to find the pool, I find it immediately. This might actually screw up our test. This one has a blockage in the door, so let's not go into that one. Let's go into a different one. Okay, let's pretend here. We're gonna like pull up our torch, come down here to this long hallway, and then it is not correct. So we have to figure out why this, I wanted it to line up with the floor. So does it line up? There's some sand on that fell down on here. And it's definitely too far. So I miscalculated something. It's 1 block too far down. But this is a good first attempt. I mean, it worked. And it is, if we pull it up 1, we're still 1 shy, but I'm kind of wondering if that is even, yeah, so the stairs have to be 1 higher, and we have to get it positioned 1 higher. Let's do, what we're going to do here is I'm going to set a checkpoint here. So I can come back here easily. And I'm going to solve each problem at a time. Actually, let's do the stair. Let's make the stair bigger first. That's going to be a bigger thing to do. It's going to be an easier thing to do. So we're going to go, we get to see how we use MagicaVoxel. Everybody got really quiet, so I'm always wondering if I'm still streaming when that happens or people are actually interested in what I'm doing. Okay, so to do that, we just we use the crop tool. We move this out 1. We are just gonna, I think the easiest way to do this would just be to attach some more limestone to this. Nope. No. Okay, maybe not. This one. Yeah, there we go. So we're seeing it here, and then yeah, and then we'll attach the black to here. So we've just expanded this up by 1 stair. Let's pull this into the game and see this. So all we have to do here is save, go back into Unreal, find our voxel prefab, re-import. This is so slick. The guy who set this up was, I can't possibly appreciate this more. Move this in, go, oops, no, we got our checkpoint, so we can go pop right down to our checkpoint. Turn our light on, and we're still too far down, but we should be one step up. Great. So if we just move the stairway one step up, we've got it taken care of. So, I mean, the only thing that's a little bit weird is it's the wrong way, but we could flip it around, and it's not going to appear like this in the game anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm kind of wondering why my calculation was off, because I really thought I understood where everything was, and that kind of stuff always bothers me. But whatever. A little +1 here, -1 here programming. That is been doing that a lot with the world builder. So I think what we got to do is move the. Oh, we should save this too. We got to move the pivot down one. It's easier to. I can't think about if I have to go up or down one. But it's easier to try it out than it is to. I'm just gonna leave this over here. It's easier to try it out than it is to think about it. Oops! I can get my. And is it Murphy's Law? We always. Just want to make sure that's exactly what's happening. Okay, that we're 2 down. So yeah, Murphy's Law, we did it the wrong way. Implying that whatever we did, it was going to be the opposite of that. So let's go back 2 in the other direction, save that, go. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. Come on. And I got it. Luckily, my team is right here helping me out. Said I adjusted the wrong coordinate here. There's so many different coordinate spaces that we're working in. It's confusing. I often it's hard, like often screw it up. Okay, let's zap out to that spot. And we did it. Oh, that's perfect. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Yes, this is actually how it's supposed to be. So this thing is backwards. So what would happen is you would approach it from this side, and this area is going to be cleared out. So, and we'll randomly shift that around. We can do a 180. Actually, let's do, just to test this, let's do a 180 flip on this. And see if it spins around as a test, because I don't think I've tested that yet. No. Oops. Save all, back to Unreal. Let's build this, hop in. Check it with a cache. You bought CastleMiner Z for $1 on Steam. Oh, that's, I guess, another news. CastleMiner Z, the original one, is $1 this week. It's the Xbox throwback sale to honor the price that it was on the Xbox. So if you were going to get this, this would be a good time to do it. And we're arguing about Macs versus PCs, it looks like. That's totally up for a good Mac versus PC argument. The stairway is no longer. Oh, okay. We won't do that for this stream. Wonder if I think that somehow we outstepped a boundary in doing that. Let's stop this. Okay, let's see. We will restart the editor. And let's see, the other thing I want to do is I made the dungeon so I could flood fill an area, so I can second Diet Coke. And, oh, I should have, save that. Okay, let's save all. We'll get this into here. We'll do a compile. Are we still talking about Mac versus PC? Wow. What other controversial things can we argue about? What's your thought about Steam coming to Xbox? I've heard this. I haven't read up on it. I mean, I'm assuming it's true because a bunch of people said it. It's a weird move for them, I think. But I mean, that's great because if Steam is on the Xbox, then we don't have to go through Microsoft approval anymore for that, which has always kind of been an issue because we kind of have a legacy thing with Microsoft. Okay. So let's just verify this one more time. Find the doorway to one of these. Why can't I find a doorway? This one's probably covered. Okay. And we come in here, we have our stairway. It's backwards, but it's no problem. And this is just sand that dropped from the ceiling, but that'll get fixed eventually. Oh, maybe not. Hold on a second, because this should all be cleared, and maybe we're not clearing enough. Let me make sure that. Yeah, we should probably clear. How much sand was down there? Is it just one thing of sand? Let's go to another. The fact that we're seeing this in every pyramid is probably a problem. So let's go to another one and just check it. Somebody suggested adding horses. It's funny. We put horses in Death Toll, and it was one of the funnest things to make. And we put that in a lot of the. I thought it was one of the cooler things about that game is that you could ride a horse up to a jet and take off. Are there still going to be loot blocks? No, I'm taking those out. We've talked about that in several of the streams. I should almost put that in the FAQ. Hey, thank you for the donation. Any thoughts on Steam Deck Linux support? I think that I would like to support Steam Deck if it supports the game. So, I mean, we'll see where we are when we get this running. And we're talking about antitrust laws in here. This is getting heavy. Like, we need a panel. Like, I was trying to get one of the other devs to come on with me today. We could have sat here and just argued about antitrust laws. Okay. Tank Top Tom again. Yeah. we're doing. I was just out running. Killing it. I was at the gym, out running. It's a nice day here. I'm in Seattle. It's super sunny. So I did the gym, did a 2-mile run, came right back up here, fired up the stream. So people keep saying I should start doing gym streams. Because I don't want to be one of those people at the gym with a selfie tripod. Okay, 2 blocks. So we got to expand the black area by 2 blocks. So this is super easy. We just go over here and we just go attach. 1, 2. That's it. Save it. This is so slick. Re-import. Save all. Run this and teleport to our place. I don't know why it didn't take me there. There we go. Should go underground. And now we don't have these sand drops anymore. Yeah, that's the right number. This is kind of interesting, which probably shouldn't be there, but this is the right thing. So we have a stairway that takes us down to the dungeon. Like, kick ass. Should probably be half blocks. Hoping near the end we might be able to get something like that in. The Beef at Wellington stream is highly requested. Yeah. Beef Wellington and gym streams. Yeah, that's pretty much you're kind of describing my life here. I mean, I wake up early, I go to the gym, I come back, I cook, I run, and then I like start doing game development and then pop on stream. So that's like, it's living the life, right? This is the do I get scared by virtual reality games? I don't get scared, but I get sick. Definitely get sick. Okay. Now that we got this in, we're going to do the hard part, which is going to try to get the dungeon into here. And I got to figure out this. I'm imagining that we're going to run into problems doing this. If you're into working out, I have this thing where I say that cooking is the most underrated life hack ever. Like, it solves so many of your problems with you. But if like you're into like fitness, like cooking, I mean diet's like 90%. Cooking is such a help you out in like so many different aspects of your life. And it's a good artistic expression. I don't know, like you guys saw my cake decorating or the Jello. That was a big thing from here. Okay, so I got this dungeon builder. We got to do a little planning to make this work. Okay, so we're going to build a dungeon out here. I used some numbers as a random number thing. It's not important right now, although we might get the same. Just cut some off so we don't get the same exact dungeon as the one underneath us. The size of the dungeon is kind of critical. So let's do this. Let's load up Voxel, our big pyramid again, and plan this out. Like if the dungeon starts, I think the dungeon is 8 high. I guess that's important for us to know. The dungeon works in 2 phases. One of them builds the structure of the dungeon. The other one builds like what the dungeon is made out of. And the dungeon height for this, the tombs, which is what I'm calling these, is 7 units high. So I think we have to be 8 units since the pyramid increases. Let's go to ortho view here. Since the pyramid increases by 1 unit starting at 0. No, starting at 1. Every time because we're building from the base here. So since it comes in 1 unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be this height. 8. I think we're 8 pixels, 8 voxels in. Yeah, people are talking about saving money for cooking. It's a great way to do it. Losing weight. It's a cheat. It's a cheat. Dating, like everything, like cooking will fix so many things in your life. And I say, any good diet meals you recommend? Yeah, I have tons of them actually. Like I could totally make a cookbook of like to go off on a tangent here on diet meals because I lost like 100 pounds at one point, and then I got in like really, really good shape. And I'm just about 50. I don't think a lot of people realize that. And if you go to my Instagram, you could see more pictures of me. But cooking healthy and making it taste good is such a cheat to like losing weight. And I've been with a lot of trainers, and the trainers are just not good cooks. So they give you the most boring, horrible things to eat. But there's no reason that you can't hit all your macros and not have things taste delicious. So there's about 10 or 15 recipes that I could immediately give out to do that. I've actually thought about streaming them because I cook like twice a day doing this for myself. So I thought about actually streaming some of those because I have a lot of really great recipes that are like mostly carnivore or keto diet. And if you go on a keto diet, you'll lose weight like crazy. Not being a doctor or knowing anything about that. I guess I should disclaim that. Thank you so much for the donation. I don't have a PC, so I'm forced my friends to sign up on the wish list for Steam. It's cool. We'll get to you. Like, we're going to, like, CastleMiner belongs on the Xbox, so that's, you know, the ultimate goal. It's good. Somebody's saying cooking is a good hobby too. It's very artistic. You know, it's just a great all around. You know what I really like? The cooking versus game development is that when you're making like game development and you make a game and it goes out there forever, like, or painting, it's like forever. But cooking, the art is in the moment and it's like gone afterwards. You know, so it's like it doesn't like linger around. And I think that the fact that the cooking is like so temporary makes it sort of a cool form of art. Like it's almost like on the other side of the spectrum of doing game development. It's like, you know, relatively imprecise and it doesn't last for a long time. Where if you see video games as art, it's like very, very precise and they stick around forever. Somebody's saying here frozen, a lot of chicken breasts with frozen vegetables. I have a lot of recipes where I take chicken, they were totally off subject now here. I take chicken breasts and I run them through the slicing blade on the food processor and I do a bunch of stuff. It's easier to get a chicken breast down if it's like, you know, cut small and into, you know, in some sort of like delicious sauce. CMZ cookbook. Yeah, that would be funny. I wonder if I could CMZ theme a cookbook. It's weird though, because I don't think people don't know that I was on making Jell-O on TikTok and I got like 120 million views doing that. I think I'm probably more well known for Jell-O in general than I am for video games. Like it got to the point where I was meeting people in real life commonly and they knew who I was because of the Jell-O. So it's funny. I'd love to see these two things come together, but I think people are on different sides of the spectrum. Okay, let's try this. So we're going to move 8 in. If we take, so basically, it's the size of the pyramid minus 8 on each side. So that's going to be... We're going to go... what are we building? The pyramid large. Do we have a way of knowing that? I know it's 100 by 100. I don't want to try to find a way to do this. I just want to like kind of hack this in and then figure out the right way to do it later. So 100, but minus 8 on each side. 8 times 2. 6 minus 16. Yeah, it's just 100 minus 16 is the size of the map. We generate the dungeon. Somebody asked here about the random number. Yeah, the random number determines what dungeon you get. And then we should be able to just go build tombs. Like build... tomb. Oh, we have to run this. Okay. This I probably should have done outside of the stream. We have to run a loop and build the columns here of the thing. So let's go. X is equal to 0 to. Mark this up. Dungeon size. here. We're going to go from 0, x is less than dungeon size, x plus z. Yeah, and then we're going to build a. Yes, I got to get Copilot working here because it doesn't. Because this would be really great. Copilot would do this really great. Terrain, dungeon builder. All of this is what I want. Yeah, that was Copilot right there. That was AI that just finished that line for me, which is like totally very, very cool use of AI. Okay, let's save this and see what we get. I have no idea. This could crash. If it crashes, this stream might. Somebody's asking if I love Diet Coke. Yeah. I think that there's an ongoing joke right now about me and Diet Coke. You're not the first people to have this joke. I got a problem, serious problem. I don't want to admit how much Diet Coke I drink in a day. Have I ever made a giant Jello? Depends on what giant you mean. I've made some pretty big Jellos, like way bigger than you would ever eat. Especially when I was doing the Jello thing. So what I started doing is putting Jello sculptures. I did like Jello sculptures, if you look me up on TikTok. And I would put Jello sculptures inside of other Jello sculptures. So, yeah, I have made some pretty big Jello. I had I was ordering bulk Jello on Amazon for a while. Did I go to school specifically for game development, or was it something that you picked up as an interest and a hobby? So I think I've talked about this story before. My life was kind of unusual. Like I was taught how to program when I was like 5 years old, and I started making games when I was about 6 or 7. I made my first text-based adventure game when I think I was like 6 or 7 years old. And I started making games after that. And I was making games like on a professional level before I went to college. But I did go to college for computer science, and then I worked in the AAA game industry for probably 10 or 15 years. So for me, it's a weird thing. I think a lot of people find out what they want to do later in their life. And for me, I sort of like was born making games. So it's a weird feeling for me because I tried to stop doing it I keep trying to stop doing it, but I keep getting pulled back. Hey, thank you for the donation. Again, I recognize the name. Have you ever made Coke flavored Jellos before? No, but that really sounds great. The funny story about the Jello, it started because of the gym. Because I was trying to find something to a collagen supplement, and I thought, well, I love Jello. Like, why don't I make more Jello? Yeah, it's a little. Somebody saying it's starting out as 5 is crazy. I'm not exaggerating that. My father was sort of visionary, and I grew up in the 70s because I'm old. And he really felt like, computers. He had an interesting story about him building a computer for his work, and we had a computer in our house that was the size of a refrigerator that he built. And he felt like programming was an important thing. And I grew up in Chicago, which was sort of the heart of the game industry at the time because of the arcade industry. And a lot of my father was an electrical engineer, and a lot of his friends were electrical engineers in the game industry. So everybody, like, video gaming was like a very important, I think back then, not a lot of people even did it, but back then it was a very important thing. Like, everybody around us, their careers, depended on video games. They were sort of like the pioneers of the game industry. So they took video games much more seriously than most people did at that time period. And my dad was an avid gamer and played all of our games, up until, he died about 5 years ago. But let's see how we did. And I'm scared that we're going to crash. I actually am like a little bit scared because I don't. Ooh, okay, no crash. So if this worked, what we should get is a dungeon inside of one of these things. And I'm guessing that the walls are going to be screwed up now that I'm thinking about it because... Oh, I screwed something up. I screwed up the big moment. Somebody says they can't believe I'm 50. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I always wonder if I should tell people how old I am. But I'm getting to that age where I'm actually kind of proud to tell people how old I am instead of being embarrassed by it. Get a funny message from one of our developers here. Okay, something is not right. There's too much sand in this. I can't tell. This just did not work. And I'm wondering if maybe it's too, what would be some information would be good. If this is too high or too low, where did the thing go? That dungeon is just not here. Like a little hint of where things went would be good. It's surprising to me. Something is really screwed up. You know what happened? I probably didn't compile. As I was rambling on about everything else except game development, I probably didn't compile. Somebody's asking, can you do a Git clone? I don't understand what that question means. Is there any ETA on this beautiful specimen? I really appreciate the kind words. I don't know. We're hoping by the end of the year. We kind of have, and a lot of everybody has pressing deadlines themselves. So but yeah, it's like it's coming along though, and you guys can watch it step by step. Pharaoh boss fight sounds like such a cool thing. Somebody's saying here that they want to get in game development, but they're afraid of the math involved. The math isn't all that complex. It's a lot of like basic algebra, basically. I think it would be, and you learn it as you go. So I say if you're interested in game development, you should download like Unity or something and start making games. Yeah, people are talking about, somebody's talking about here about gifting the game as a support. We really appreciate that. I mean, buying our games really keeps, okay, let's go. Let's go. So let's try this again. Are we adding new stuff or keeping it OG? I don't know. Does this look OG to you? Somebody's asking about different monsters. We haven't really went through the monsters yet. There'll definitely be some changes here. I don't like how much sand. Oh, this is because of the cave clearing, which is something we're in the process of solving. But the fact that we're not seeing dungeons here is not a good sign. But, what's weird is I'm not seeing... Something looks different. Like the ceiling here is different. So one of the things I do when I run into problems like this is I remove the obstructions. So what I can do is remove the cave or the pyramid completely and see why I'll leave the stairs in and I'll take the pyramid out and we'll see where this dungeon is going. And let me just double check the dungeon code here. Oh, this is a problem. It's not being put in the right place. The AI got it wrong. So this has got to be... Let's do this in a semi-proper way. Constant int. refinement int vector 2. Pyramid location is okay, so that's the center of the pyramid, and what did we say is the center is the so what good way to do this is you set up all the variables and name them really well. Somebody, a very, very good programmer early in my career taught me this, is that put all the variables, give them excellent names. In fact, this should be the pyramid center location. We'll make sure we use it. And then the we'll do this again. Pyramid center location. This is going to be the dungeon start is the pyramid center location minus dungeon size over 2. Okay, and then we build the dungeon at dungeon size, generate it, and the location is going to be min location. No, it's going to be dungeon start X, dungeon start Y. I think the height is wrong, but I'll have to correct that because I think the dungeon is set to be the top, not the bottom of the dungeon, which is actually kind of sucky. Like maybe I should fix that. We're getting suggestions on how I should name my variables, which is kind of funny. I don't. It's weird to do this live. It's not an activity that you typically do live. And we got rid of the pyramid. This is going to put this thing in the ground, I'm pretty sure, and we'll have to fix it. So let's go back to here. Let's do a compile and a save. Take some Diet Coke. The fact that the pyramids are here is already a problem, so I'm just going to stop because there's something wrong. The pyramids should not be there. So now I'm wondering if oh, compile failed. Let's go back and do a writer compile. Dungeon builder, we have a, where did I screw syntax error? Dungeon builder. Oh, okay. I have one of these already in here, so I have to clean this up before I check it out. Let's just call this the pyramid dungeon builder. That actually probably what was going on before, and I just didn't notice it. This actually may have worked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't. Okay. Let's go back here. Close this. Compile. out there. There should be no pyramids out here now. And we have a crash. It's a really big number. Okay, let's figure out where we screwed this up. The cool thing about riders, it shows you the values of everything in here. Negative 106, and 2000, that's a really huge number. So where did we screw this up? Dungeon start, pyramid center. Are we sending world coordinates in? Yeah, and I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. Let me just double check this because we do this right up here in the desert. Yeah, world coordinate and dungeon location. So these are right, these numbers. They're outside of the range that we're supposed to have. Just make sure that this is X plus Z, min location. Yeah, so we're doing it right. So this is what I expected, is a crash. So let's, and how far were we into the, probably 0 is my guess, yeah. So the origin we calculated something wrong here. Dungeon size, 0, 0. Oh, you know what it is okay, so we're subtracting off of each side of the center, which is, the math is wrong. This is 50 minus 8, not 50 minus 16, not the double side. So it's like subtracting off in each. No, but we divided by 2, so that is actually correct. So the center location, dungeon size is 84. So we're taking the center of the pyramid and we're subtracting 40 something units on each side, which should be negative 106, 64. Let's just make sure that we didn't screw the pyramids up when we put the other stuff in. I kind of really want to see all this work together, so I really want to kind of push through this. And then I can decide what to do with it after this. We had a crash, so we actually have to rebuild. Probably a good thing anyways. Will there still be the double toolbar? I don't know. I think we're going to redesign the UI. People are talking about microtransactions. I don't have any plans for that immediately. What's the most fun thing about this big project that you're looking forward to? I just love, it's the funnest part for me is watching the pieces come together. So like, for example, getting the world up was a big deal for me because it's like a whole bunch of things come together. I think that's what makes doing any kind of development fun, even if you're, working on like a banking system or something, is that you do a bunch of work and stuff doesn't work, and one day you hit the button and like everything works. And that feeling is so rewarding after you've done the work that it like encourages you to do more. So let's get the pyramids back in here. Okay, so they're centered, they're in the right place. I'm gonna do this for now. I'm gonna just set these up to be like space rock or something, and make sure that works. I'm going to take the pyramids out. We will go dungeon start X. Dungeon start Y, which is Z. And pyramid base. It's going to put it right at the ground. Trying to remember if our coordinate system is up or down. I think it's -5. I think it's 0 to the top. And then we will just make this be space rock block. And let me just see if my math is right here before we confuse. I really would be surprised if the dungeon building code did this. I'm guessing this is going to crash too. Not seeing them. Is there some space rock underground maybe? Hopefully. Oh, there's a stairway here. It's weird to me that I'm not seeing any of this unless there's a layer of space rock down here, but it probably would have got blown away by the dungeons. Let me just try in the opposite direction. Oh yeah, this is so bad. Diet Coke in the game is a health potion. It's my health potion. Programmer needs Coke badly. Wow, not showing up. Totally weird. Like this is, there should be a bunch of holes in the ground for stairways. That got placed. Yeah, like here. This one. But why is my, wow. Why is my, nothing is showing up here? Why? Negative is up, so we definitely want to go. What you do when you have problems like this is you start by doing sanity checks. So, oh God, this is dumb. I made a really stupid mistake here. Yeah. Okay. Do it again. We were writing everything into the same exact block. So this should all come together. Somebody's asking here, helping us with an e-commerce website. That actually probably would be something that would be useful to us. Nobody on the... It's funny, game developers are typically not very good web developers. It's there's like a reason for that. They're almost on the two opposite sides. Tom, you should drink energy drinks, Monster, Rockstar, Red Bull. Man, I just drank a bunch of coffee right before the... I've been drinking like cold brew coffee on top of the Cokes. I actually think that I would start running into problems if I started throwing energy drinks in the mix. I should probably stop the caffeine. Somebody's asking for a marketplace for the game. It's something we've thought about. Are we getting our... Oh my God. Space rock underground. Oh, it is. Okay, this is good. So we did the wrong direction. I really thought it was the other way around. That's interesting. Somebody's asking for the best way to reach out. If you go to the Discord, our Discord server, and find me through there, I think that's probably the easiest way to do this. We've been communicating with most people through Discord right now. Igloos in the snow biome. That would be good. In fact, I'm going to write that down and put that as I call them bounties that I put out requests for different things I want made from the community, and that would be a good one. Will there be a player limit on the server? I don't know. We haven't done the networking yet, so I don't know the answer to that question. There we go. Here is our platform. This is where the size of the dungeon should be. I want to see that these line up with the pyramids, so I'm going to put these back. I'm going to put the pyramids back in. At least, so here, this is a cool thing here. What we're seeing here is I'm getting predictable results. So remember when I went into the dungeons for the first time, I had they were just not there and I couldn't find anything, but now I'm seeing predictable results. So now I can just follow the breadcrumb trails and just walk this all the way back. We should see pyramids with big slats in them, and they should line up with the pyramids, and they do. So, and they look like they're in the right place. Are they in the right place? They do look like they're in the right place. Okay, so now let's try to put the dungeons back in where those should have went. So we have a sanity check where we know that was the bug. I'm going to keep this in just for reference in case we screw something up. We never needed this anyways. And let's do, see, this is the rewarding part. We're going to get it all the way through, and this is going to come together. And I think we've been on, we've only been on like an hour. That was actually a pretty good time. Okay. That's getting cocky. There's a lot of programmers have a lot of superstition about that. There was, see, superstition. This is interesting because this is that prefab loading bug that we had before. Which is unusual because that, I'm just going to send this. We have our private Discord channel where I can send bugs over. Okay, let's just do a build again. It's weird that that would crash. Somebody's asking what made the devs come back and revamp such an old game. We've been talking about a remaster for years, but it wasn't obvious how we should do it. And there's kind of a funny story about everybody sort of getting together sort of randomly. Like it was like weird, like fate, you know, everybody became available at the same time. And the technology has changed enough in the time period that the game we could make could be significantly different versus just like a little bit different. And that was one of the reasons we didn't use Unreal. Okay, so I'm getting a bug here when I'm building. Dungeon bottom 10, 0, 237. I should add temples in each biome. That's a good idea. I like that. Thank you for the donation. Thank you. Okay, so we still have some work to do here. See, I got cocky. It's weird because this and this are exactly the same. So now I'm wondering if there's something else going on. Is this, okay, this might be a coordinate space issue because I'm not sure that I send in. The problem is the world builder is in the old coordinate space and the see why. Ground, yeah. Oh, you know where? Yeah, I should not be. This is a place where I should not be translating the coordinate system. I have to be more consistent about this. This would be something. A lot of times when I'm not on the streams, I refactor code because I tend to do things sloppy while I'm here live, just because it's faster. It's funny, we have this term called that show code is what we call it, but this is a totally different use of that term. Like it's like literally show code. I think this is the problem though. I think I did a pre-coordinate space. If you visit the Discord servers, we have great places for suggestions. And they're in a place where we can keep everything organized because it's kind of hard. A lot of them are really good suggestions. It's just hard to keep things organized. And a lot of times we like people give suggestions about enemies and things like that, and it's so far away that by the time we're concentrating on that, we won't be able to remember. Okay, so we got rid of the crash. This is good. Oh, this is good. This is good. So my guess here is the dungeon is probably going to be like not in the right place. This one actually would be a good one to see. It should be under. If we screwed up, it should be like penetrating the bottom of this. Okay, well, we found the dungeon. It's under the thing, which is not where we want it. And it's underwater, which is hilarious. It's kind of cool, but not where we wanted it. So, oh, there was another crash there. It's a weird. Okay, so easy way to do this is just what was it? Plus, just go +8 for now. We'll get them up in the right place. I think we'll probably have to do one more run after this. Is it possible to code CastleMiner Z in Roblox? Probably. I mean, it depends on what you consider coding CastleMiner Z. If you just wanted the world to appear in there, I'm pretty sure you could do that. I don't know anything about programming in Roblox. Like one of the big things that we did in our games, we were always trying to get the weapon handling really good, and I think you'd probably have a hard time doing that in Roblox. But so you could get something that was sort of CastleMiner Z-ish in there, I bet. I'm sure it's probably actually there already. I think that wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay, so we can see that something's wrong here because we have this is interpenetrating the cave. Let's find the doorway to one of these things. And I bet that it's too high in here. So let's turn the lights on. And oh, actually we way overestimated. So the dungeon, but I don't know, kind of cool. It has to actually go up one more to match the floor. And I think what we have to do is subtract. Okay. Okay, this has to go up 2 more. And this, I'll clean up the way to do this later. And then the dungeon has to be 2 smaller, too. So that actually should make everything line up. And like this is a horrible way to do this, but I don't want to. There's probably like an hour of refactoring code in here that I don't want to do for you. Do while I'm on the stream, because it's not fun to watch somebody refactor code. Okay, we totally screwed something up because the dungeon is still interpenetrating the thing, but the floor should line up. But how much? We're only 1 block off there. 2 blocks off? That's weird. There's something off here. I think it's because of the odd dimensions of the building. So let's go in to the... Now we're 1 too high. I don't know how that happened. Okay, well that's an easy fix though. Let's drop this down to 9. It's weird that, was it 8 before? It's hard to keep track of all these different things at the same time. Somebody say it's insane to see this game 14 years later. I agree. It's insane. It's insane that it's been 14 years. So this is funny because I was looking at the time when I started. This is programmer superstition. And thank you for the donation, by the way. I'll get into your question in a second. Programmer superstition is that I shouldn't have said out loud that I was going to, be done with this quick, because it's looking like it's going to be probably another 30, 40 minutes anyways. In one of my early game programming job, there was like a little toy that they would put on people's computers if they had a bug that was hard to find. And then one of the programmer taught me how to name variables. Always had this superstition that when you finally find the really hard bug, your computer will crash, because it's like the bug is like lashing out at you as it dies. Something random will happen, like your computer will crash right as you're solving the bug. This actually worked really good, by the way. We just have to shrink the dungeons up a little bit. So the doorway comes right in here from the outside. Now instead of this long hallway, we enter right into a dungeon. And you know what the problem is? We need to put the stair in afterwards. So we got to fix that problem. But this is actually, we're like almost there. Kind of cool. So we're in it's a dungeon inside of the pyramid, and it's a procedural dungeon. It'll be a different dungeon in every pyramid, and the pyramid's big enough where this dungeon actually is like. So you can see this is where the wall of the dungeon is, but this dungeon is actually big enough to actually be cool inside here. Like I was worried that it would be too small. This is why I made the pyramid so big. Like this is actually really cool. That this would be kind of dumb because it would be so small, but this area is big enough where this dungeon feels like significant. Like you could run like a little quest or something inside of this one dungeon. So it's pretty cool. Somebody's asking here, how long did the OG CastleMiner take to develop? How long have you been working on Resurrection? Take as much time as you need. Thank you very much. It's an interesting story. The original CastleMiner game we made, I don't know, it was like a month or two. And then when we did the first version of CastleMiner Z, it was only like 6 weeks. Like it was like a reskin that took us, I think it was less than 2 months. But people have to remember that the original CastleMiner Z was very, very simple. And then there was like 10 years of updates on it. So the CastleMiner Z that you know now is like, the product of like us working for like years and years and years on it. But the original one was made in like 6 weeks. One of the problems that we have here is the dungeon is still too big. I don't really understand why. I think it's because it's 10 high, so that actually would make sense. So let's fix that problem, and we won't have it sticking through the walls of things. And there'll be a little bit, that was a mistake. There'll be a little bit smaller as a result of it. Oh, yeah, and let's fix the stairs while we're doing this. So the stairs, we have to place the stairs, because the stairs cut things out. We have to place the stairs after the tombs, so the stairs can cut away the area of the tombs. So let's save this. Go into here and save, and I think that this is cool because we're almost there, and this is like the result. I mean, think about all the work. Like, so this gives you a really good idea of how game development works, because you think about how much time we spent on the pyramids, and how much time we spent in the dungeons, and then how much time we spent in the voxel tool. And this is why I wanted to do this stream. Now, this is all of those three things coming together finally. And I'm hoping, this is superstitious again, when I press the button here, that we're going to see the results of like the last month or two of work. The other question they had in the stream was how long we've been working on this. We started around December. So it's a little bit, about 4 months we've been working on this now. So here we go. Is this our big moment, or are we going to jinx it by talking about it? We come in here, and let's put our torch in. And okay, good. This is good. Look at this. So we got no penetration on the outside of the dungeon. We got a dungeon inside the pyramid. And in the middle of this, we'll probably place the stairs more intelligently in the future. Got to keep track of where we are. In the middle of this, there's a stairway, and the stairway takes us down to another dungeon. That's it. Like, that is everything coming together, and that's a really, it's super exciting. Like this, so this is the reason, this is what gets you excited about game development, because this is the example of like months of work coming together. So like, this is super cool. So you're walking through this dungeon, you got to find the stairway, you find the stairway, and you walk down into like another whole dungeon. I mean, this is so cool. Like, I'm in a lava tank here, but if I walk around in here, these dungeons, like there's a little narrow hallway, I find a break in the ground, and this takes me to like an underwater cave here. Here's like a chasm to an underwater cave. So, I mean, if you think about this, you can walk right from the surface, like down, I'm flying around here, but like right from the surface down into this cave, just with like natural things, and that's all just procedurally generated in the world. So like, this is it. Like, this is, we have a lot of people in the community that make videos for us, which we appreciate, because it is one of the most helpful things you can do for us right now is making video clips. This would be a great clip, because this is the whole thing coming together. One of the things I want to see here is I want to get to the surface. And the one part of this that is a little bit weird is that this is going to go down to a wall now. The tops of these are going to go down to the dungeon ceiling. Yeah. So I kind of wanted this to be like a shaft. Like that was this one's full of lava. Like a shaft that comes down in like an alternate way into these things. And we're right above the stairway. Here we go. The stair. The lava stairs. Lava is pouring down the stairway. That's really inconvenient. This is so cool. I actually want to go into another one just to like experience it. So what I like to do, one of the things you do is you want to experience things the same way the player would. So I want to kind of just walk through another one without any knowledge of and sort of experience it like the player would. Let me get out of this thing. Oh, by the way, we have these. I don't know if you haven't been on these streams. Like, this is the block breaking effects are pretty cool, and we're still working on those. And each block will have like a different way that it breaks, but it uses real physics to break stuff out. And that's a bug, but it's because I removed the block. I have like a fast remove, versus a. I had another. Somebody's asking about the igloos. You know, I had another stream where I was doing ice caves, and now I'm thinking that the ice caves should just be a different type of dungeon. And that's probably the next stream I'm going to do, is build out different types of dungeons. We got the sun. This is cool. Okay, here we are. I got to imagine you're the player now. We got the sun's setting. We can, like, in the desert here, we've come across this big pyramid. There won't be like a million of these. There'll be one. And we find the doorway. And, you know, we watch the sunset. It's actually going to be a beautiful sunset. I think we should stay here for a couple seconds and watch it. Hopefully the weather won't change while we're doing this. And you know, as the sun's setting, we like come across this pyramid and this entrance. And you can see the shadow. This is kind of cool. The shadow of the sun is like, you know, working its way through the cave entrance. You can see the... Oh. And then as the sun sets, a sandstorm rolls in. So we go to the safety of the caves. And we... Oh, our light wouldn't be on here. I have my fake light. Here we go. So the sandstorm's going on out here. So I light up my torch and I come in the caves and I find like tombs. There's tombs inside the pyramid. And I adventure around in these tombs. You can break through the walls, but it's risky. I'm going to throw a torch on the wall here. You can break through the walls, but it's risky because there could be like lava behind the walls. Let's break through, and it looks kind of cool with the fog in here. I want to get some more fog into the caves. Like ground fog. Wow, it is hard to find. I may have to put more than one stairway in here. Maybe there's treasure or something in here. Pull out our torch, our adventurer torch. Kind of got like an Indiana Jones feeling. And then it's like, what is this? That's not it. And then wait, what's this? Like a stairway? Where does this stairway lead? Well, it's covered in lava, but hey, that sucks. But like, oh my God, there's like a giant subterranean tomb that just keeps going on forever in here. And then it's like, oh, what's this opening down here? Like, it takes us into like these dark underground caverns. It's cool. It's cool. Everything coming together. I'm going to see if I can walk it all the way down to hell. And then I'm going to end up on the stream. So queue up your questions while we're doing this, because I will do one, like I do in the streams, I'll do one last like battery of questions. Let's take our, let's do this like we do it in the game. Let's take the torch there, put a torch there, and let's start mining. Rock chunks probably have to go away faster, but it's kind of cool to see them build up and break through the ground. Okay, let's just see if I can hit another cave here. I don't know if you're fresh to the streams, you can see like our redesigned ores look really cool. Every once in a while you come across these really cool formations in the caves. The caves got a really good redesign. We did that in one of the other streams. Like, this is a good example of it. There's these chasms with lava flowing down in them. Big clearings. Like, this is an example of a big, not really. There's some actually really, really big clearings down here. Oh, it keeps going. I should not fly. I'm so used to flying around the world. I keep going down. This is like the depth of this world. Some underground waterfalls and some more chasms. Oh, we gotta be close now. Let's go further down. Up. Seeing diamonds down here, so we must be. And then, whoa, we broke into hell, and this is the new hell. I turn my light off. Cool. Okay, that is a good day. That is a really good day. Let's answer some of your questions. I'm stoked. Like, this is that is a lot of work coming together in one place. And each one of those little things represents like a tool that we can use in lots of different things. So the dungeons we can use in a lot of places. The voxel thing we can use in lots of places. This is a major accomplishment. So let me catch up with your stream because I was not looking while I was doing this. People are saying it looks good. Yeah, it is. People are asking about if the game sounds are going to be different. It would probably be a mix of old sounds and new sounds, would be my guess. Old music, new music. Will there be special zombies based on the weather? I'd like to do a lot of stuff with the weather, but we haven't worked on that part of the game yet. Can we convert the pyramid into a base? How'd you get so magnificent? That's really nice. I'm assuming you mean the game, not me, but that's great. Did I ever play Dragon Quest VIII? I have not played Dragon Quest VIII. I like how the lava looks glowy. It also looks hot. Yeah, the lava turned out good. I like that. Oh, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you. Wall of Flesh boss. That sounds really interesting. Hey man, will the soundtrack be the original CMZ be reused? It's really sad. Like I said, there'll be a mixture of old music and new music inside. I don't plan on taking any music out. Just adding new stuff. Cool. Okay. I appreciate everybody coming by. That was a good. There's a couple more questions. Was there an inspiration for getting the gunplay? So I was like, yeah, I'm a big Call of Duty player. So when we did the games like Laser Wars and those, we spent a long time getting the gunplay down to be similar to what it is in Call of Duty for those things. And a lot of that stuff was supposed to carry over to CastleMiner. I think a lot of the games came after, like Laser Wars 2, I think is where we really nailed the gunplay. That came after CastleMiner, so I don't know how much stuff was. The code bases were shared, but I don't remember how much it was. But yeah, like huge Call of Duty player. Battlefield 2. I was a big Battlefield player. The world will be infinite, definitely infinite. We've always had infinite worlds. Well, it will be infinite. So, is there a... the worlds have always been... We were infinite on the... I don't know if everybody remembers, but we were infinite on the Xbox way before Minecraft was. Like, we had infinite worlds, and Minecraft had a 1K world when it shipped. So, like, we were the OG infinite... well, I guess that's not fair. Minecraft had an infinite world on the PC long before us. If there was a VR port for the game, we would change the lighting method because standalone doesn't support Lumen. Yeah, I don't really have... It's a highly technical question. I don't really have the answers for that or not. Yeah, somebody's saying Laser Wars was pristine. I feel like Laser Wars was good. It was like peak, totally like peak DNA FPS. Like, I think that we just like really, by the time we made Laser Wars 2, we had nailed it. And Laser Wars 2 was a fun game. Everybody wants us to bring that back. I would love to make a version of Laser Wars 2. I just got to figure out a way to make it interesting enough to be on like Steam. But Laser Wars 2, it'd be a fun project to make because it was fun to make the first time around. So he's talking about the infinite worlds. Hopefully I did a narration for the story behind Lantern Land, and I'm hoping that our community people will put the video together for me on that because it tells the whole story about where Lantern Land came from. But again, I'm gonna wrap things up here. Man, I appreciate everybody dropping by. And this was great. Like, this was the culmination of a lot of stuff coming together. And it was cool to see it all work. And we'll tune this out. I got to refactor the code, tune some stuff up together, figure out what that flip around bug was, and then make everything positioned in the right place. And maybe I'll do a stream or two to see if you guys want to see more streams. I'll do that. I try to do the boring stuff offline while I'm doing other boring stuff. Right now I'm balancing, like, if it's hard, if I don't get back to people online, I'm balancing so many stuff because I have to sort of like run a business on top of making a game. So I have to do this. I have to do the streams. I have to do like the marketing. I have to do contracts and everything on the outside of it. It's like having like several full-time jobs at once. But this is kind of how we always operated. But sometimes if I like don't get back to people or I'm short with them or whatever, it's usually because I'm super, super busy. But I appreciate everybody coming by. I'm gonna come out here with the teaser. If everybody could stick around for an ad, I know it sucks, but the ad revenue like really helps us out at this point. So I'm going to run a couple ads as I go out here, and if you just to support us, whatever, you could do this. There's also a playlist on our YouTube channel that's just like loaded with ads, and if you just run that playlist, it's like 28 hours or something like that. It gives us revenue for the game, and all of this revenue goes directly into building the game. So it's a way that you can support us without actually donating money. You can just start the ad revenue playlist and let it play, and it's like giving us a donate. It's the equivalent of giving us a donation here. So appreciate everybody coming by. I'm going to pop out here with the teaser. I think the YouTube premium people will see the trailer. I'm going to run about 2 or 3 ads, and if you guys stick around, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.